channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. We are Leanne Presents. I'm Leanne, your host for this video, and I'm joined by Alan, my co-host. And it's still WrestleMania.
It's very full, so.
WrestleMania Sunday. So yeah, we're here reacting to WrestleMania Sunday, which we've just finished watching. If you want to check out our predictions video, which we did, we'll put a link somewhere on the screen to that. So we've got two parts to the predictions. We did title matches and non-title matches because the day splits weren't released. So watch them both, get us those views, and then come back and check it out. If you're planning to watch WrestleMania Sunday and haven't yet, we'd recommend checking that out before you watch this because of heavy spoilers. If you have watched it or you're not planning to, you can stay with us.
And don't forget, we've got our WrestleMania Saturday reactions you can watch as well, which we'll throw a link somewhere around here. It's like
I don't know,
here
it goes
somewhere.
up there. I don't know. We shall see.
One event, like too many videos.
So many things. But yes, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, as always, to like and subscribe to let us know that we can keep doing what we want to be doing like this.
For you.
Cool. So without further ado then.
Without further ado.
So in our Saturday reactions, we were talking about, I mentioned some of the gripes I had in that the sponsorships were very over the top. It was a lot better for WrestleMania Sunday. They still had a lot of screen time, but they luckily didn't have them plastered all over the ring.
They didn't have that cinnamon toast, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, the weird mascot thing. So,
but they did supplant it with the Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah.
Which I kind of prefer as a sponsor because it's dark and gothic and horrific, which I like. We all like horror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's good. So sponsors getting better. The other gripe I had was the lack of signs. We'll get to it later, but I think they listened when we said they needed to work on their signs because we got a couple more this time around.
All 260 of our subscribers must have been to WrestleMania. They went, oh no, we better up our game.
Wow, we need signs. Then I saw 3 of them.
Okay, so 3 of our subscribers. So
cool. So we started.
The other 257 couldn't get to the store in time.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That must be it. It was a Sunday. I don't know what it's like in America with shops on Sundays.
No idea.
They close here. Early, anyway.
Some of them don't at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Sundays. So we had America the Beautiful again being sung, this time by Jimmy Allen, who's someone else I don't know.
Who?
He does some country and rap.
I love the way they're like,
know.
Grammy Award winning, such and such nominated. And I'm like, why have I never heard of this guy?
Because they're in different circles, different genres. So yeah, that happened. I don't think I actually mentioned in reactions for Saturday about the Kevin Hart cold open. So
no, I don't think you did.
I don't think I mentioned it. He did one, and he's done one for this one as well. It's all right.
It's kind of good because there was a different one.
Yeah, it was.
Because usually they just play the same one twice.
Yeah, but
which
no,
is just lazy. It was cool they did 2 different ones.
Yeah, keep it for don't treat us like idiots. Right?
Yeah.
Most people will be watching both nights, so do something different. And then we head to the ring where The Miz and Snoop Dogg are opening the show very, very briefly.
Yeah.
They didn't say a lot.
Nope.
They just plowed straight onto the first match.
Introduced the first match, yeah.
Which is a bit like, why are they hosts? They're not hosting anything. But it's okay. First match?
Yep.
Was Omos versus Brock Lesnar. It's short.
Yep. Well, we kind of predicted it to be kind of short.
Yeah. It was better than I expected.
Yeah. I think we picked this as probably the worst match on the card.
We did, but it was actually pretty good.
It was, yeah. I'm quite surprised by that.
They kept it to a decent length, so it wasn't quite really repetitive or just the same stuff over and over again. Omos did the whole strongman stuff as you would expect, and as is right, that's his character.
Yeah.
But he didn't go so far as no selling everything, which I was a bit worried about.
Yeah.
He did react, but obviously showed that he can withstand.
It was like,
rather than
right, I took a bit of exertion to try and block that kind of thing. Yeah.
He can still stay standing, but he's not going to be like a rock. because he is a person that has balance.
I love the just the opening where Brock was just going full force and he went straight in for that double leg takedown. And Omos kind of stumbled backwards and he grabs him and just goes, whoop, nah mate, don't think so. Just throws him across the ring and Brock's like, ha ha, okay.
This guy means business.
Yeah.
It does look like Omos has been doing a lot of training. We were thinking perhaps he's training with Brock Lesnar.
Brock is a big guy, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, he's not as tall as Omos, but he's still a big guy and he needs to be able to do stuff in the ring, you know?
Yeah, and if anyone can teach you how to take a suplex, it's going to be Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
So Omos took 3 suplexes.
Yeah, he went to the suplex apartment block.
Suplex apartment.
Not suplex city.
No.
Didn't quite get the city, we got the suplex apartment block.
Yeah.
Which is between 3 and 5 suplexes.
So scientific measurements.
Do we need to actually come up with a full scale?
I'm sure I tried to
scale.
once. I did try it.
I think it was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was in one of the videos, I think, but I had a whole scale worked out. I have to find it.
So if Brock does have another match and he starts racking these up, we're going to have to put little icons of which, like a little street, like
cul-de-sac.
cul-de-sac, apartment block.
Yeah. I think you set yourself a challenge now. We've got to do it. The other thing Omos took, which was quite impressive, is Brock Lesnar did manage to F5 him somehow.
Yeah. Well, he lifted him up once and he was like, oh, I can't get him up. And he kind of stumbled a bit.
It's like his back gave out. He was selling it really well.
And then Brock almost got a bit more offensive in. And then Brock was like, nope, whoop, up he went. And it's like, oh my God.
And down he went.
Oh.
And that's how Brock got the pin to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's a nice opener. They didn't try and drag it out. It warmed the crowd up.
Yeah.
I'm happy. How do we do?
We got there. I'm trying to figure out what I've written on my notes.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to, I'm writing whilst watching, and it's like, they kind of get a bit. I got something about body slams. I think it's more like the fact that Omos does a really good body slam.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he picked him up, and he held him, and then, boom! And it's like, oh my God. He's like, he needs an air stewardess next to him. Is that high?
He throws him around like he's nothing.
Yeah.
And Brock is not a small guy.
And I think even though Omos didn't win the match, I think it certainly helped Omos.
Yeah, I think
so.
so.
I think people were like, "Oh, okay, this is something actually."
It's because we were thinking even in the predictions that recently that he's quite 2-dimensional, doesn't have a personality. All he's going to be doing is doing the strongman gimmick, but he made it work.
Yeah.
And with Brock's help, obviously, but
hey, Rags. Rags agrees.
But he showed that he belongs.
Yes.
And he can do stuff.
He has potential.
He can only get better from here, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
We should put him against Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns retains, that is. I got cat hair.
No spoilers!
My drink.
Okay, I'm going to whiz through the ad spots because we talked about
a lot of them were repeated, yeah.
So we had the merch ad, we had the Snickers ad with New Day and WWE 2K23 ad.
We're sponsoring.
Yes. That's good. Look, there's so many sponsors, my goodness. And then we move into the next match, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi Blackheart versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yep.
That's a lot of ladies. So
Fatal
this is
four-way showcase.
Yes, the showcase Fatal 4-way match. First thing we notice
there he is. Hello.
is a cat.
Hi, Rags.
Hi, kid.
Rags is the referee, apparently. He's in the right colours for it.
The door to the kitchen is open, but I think he doesn't realise he can go through it. This is fine. Shotzi didn't have a tank.
No, I'm a bit disappointed about that.
They had the perfect ramp for driving a tank down, just saying.
Maybe the weight of it would be too much on the screens or something.
But it's like the whole thing. They still had the helmets. Natalya even had a helmet with cat ears on it.
Which looked a bit too big, so she was walking down the ramp holding it up and it looked stupid.
A little bit.
And she got little bits of green in her hair.
Yeah.
Green and pink don't go well together.
They don't. I think she's just trying to be part of the team, you know. Interesting that Shotzi didn't try and incorporate pink into her outfit.
Because Shotzi has a style guide, that's why.
Yep.
She knows what looks good and what doesn't.
Exactly. This was a good match. There was some really good teamwork with Liv and Natalya got some good team moves in. And so did Raquel and Liv. They did some good stuff. And Raquel basically powerbombed Liv Morgan onto the other wrestlers on the outside. So powerbombing your own teammate, if you're going to do it, it's going to be to Liv Morgan. She's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I think it was with Shotzi and Natalya. It was, I can't remember what the move was.
Heart attack.
Yes, heart attack, that's right.
Which is an homage to the Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they did get some of Natalya's stuff into their team dynamic. But considering they don't really feel like they're a team, and with Liv and Raquel as well, sort of don't feel like a team yet, they were still able to pull off great moves together, which is, shows that they are building their team strength.
I still find it a bit weird that Raquel and Shotzi were teaming not long ago, and all of a sudden it's different. It's like...
Yeah, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville's a bit of a weird mix as well, considering Chelsea had been tagging with Carmella. Not quite sure what happened.
People were surmising is an injury, but apparently there's no injury, so I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe she's pregnant.
They had a falling... Or I was just going to say they had a falling out because they're both very abrasive characters.
Maybe she's pregnant.
Who knows?
They wouldn't want her in the ring at that point.
That's true, but they wouldn't want to advertise what's happening because it'll be early days.
Yeah, that's possibly it.
Maybe. Or maybe they're both too Karen-y and had a bit of a Karen off.
I don't know, I can't see that.
Nah.
I can't see that somehow.
Maybe not. But Sonya Deville does work in storyline with Chelsea Green. The whole, can I see your manager?
Yeah.
And she
used to be the manager.
Yeah, she's had the whole thing with
Adam Pearce.
So it fits. So it's all right. I don't think they showed up as much as a team like the others did.
No. They were more like two individuals just smushed together because basically what they were.
But the same really for Ronda and Shayna. They didn't do much team-based stuff.
Saying that, they are two of the 4 horsewomen.
Yes. So
they've got that long history.
It's a different sort of dynamic that they've got. They're not doing team moves, but they're goading each other. And...
Even though we didn't really see Ronda and Shayna through maybe 90-95% of the match.
It was a bit weird. They sort of seemed to disappear, and then they came back, and Shayna only had one boot on, and you could see her ankles strapped up.
I reckon that was strapped up in the boot, mind.
Quite possibly.
They're fighters. They always strap up.
They might have had to go back and get it checked out, and then because I don't know if she wears lace-up boots or zip, but they'd be quite awkward to get back on, especially if there's swelling or anything like that.
Yeah, so. She must have. I reckon she just tweaked it. I didn't see anything afterwards. Checking the sort of the newspapers, the news sites and stuff.
You'd think if you had to come back with one boot, you'd take the other one off as well.
Yeah, but maybe she didn't have time. If they're lace-ups, she didn't have time, maybe.
Something I've heard quite recently, is that it's more socially acceptable to wear no shoes than one shoe. Heard that one on the Chronicles of podcast. Check them out. They're good guys. Just a bit of a plug. Yeah, I think... So, coming to the finish, unless you've got anything to add before then...
Nope.
Ronda Rousey puts an armbar on Shotzi Blackheart, who obviously taps, because you can't get out of a Ronda Rousey armbar. It doesn't happen. So Ronda and Shayna win. It was a good match.
Yeah, I thought decent. I put decent match. I felt they may be too short.
Yeah, it did feel quite...
Is that because of Ronda or Shayna getting injured? Because Ronda still had some strapping on her arm. She's obviously had an injury recently. Was that the case? Was it cut too short and that's why? Or was that the length that they were meant to go for?
So it did feel to me a bit almost like a cheat that the team that had the least input into the match got the win. So,
but it's almost a very heelish kind of thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, that is
true. I did also write, perhaps that's the point. Because like you say, they're heels, so they're taking advantage of the other teams wearing each other down.
It's like, look at, was it The Miz? I think it wasn't this year's Rumble, I think it was last year's Rumble, where he jumped up the outside and he just sat outside for like half hour. It's a very heel thing to do.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. It was alright.
Yeah.
There were some good spots.
So for this match, I predicted Ronda and Shayna to win, and you predicted Natalya and Shotzi. So I got that one correct, and you got that one incorrect.
Lame. Well done.
Yes. Oi.
Alright, then we go into another filler spot.
Yeah, filler. Beach episodes.
Judgment Day video package. That's pretty cool though.
That's a pretty good actually.
Pretty good one. Then we had the highlight of the night. Which is such a weird way to put it, because that makes me think the highlight of the night, the current night, like what's happening.
I think it's more like a highlight of the previous week, the highlight of the last week of.
It's a sponsored thing
WWE,
anyway,
yeah.
And it was
Match Flow, isn't it? No, it's different this one. Match Flow was last night on Saturday night.
It was a different sponsored thing. I can't remember.
Was it X10 something?
Yeah, it was some mobile network, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, the highlight was the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, which was won by Bobby Lashley, and this did lead into them bringing Bobby out to wave a massive trophy around.
It looked very cumbersome.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, not like heavy. Like, Bobby's obviously a strong guy. You can hold it up. But it just looked a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Because it's quite wide at that base. And he's just like, it's as high as I could get it.
Massive. No one else usually carries the thing because of how big and bulky it is, but obviously it's Bobby Lashley. So he shows the trophy off a bit, gets his flowers, not literally, figuratively, and off he goes.
Yeah, I was hoping that would lead to a match.
Yeah, no.
But then you continue walking around, it's like he's not even in his wrestling gear, so...
He's in a suit, I think. He looks good in a suit.
Yeah.
Then we go into the back to the up, up, down, down set, where they use...
Up, down, down.
Up, up, down, down. They use WWE 2K23 to simulate the match that's coming up next, which is Gunther, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship. And in the simulation, Drew McIntyre wins. And we were like,
No.
Like, oh, is that going to happen? And like, nah. Nah.
And Nikki Cross is just like,
Nikki Cross is so funny.
And she's doing like, this to Xavier Woods.
And then right at the end, just like yells right in his face. Like, what?
And he's like, Nikki!
It's good.
She's
She's such a good character. I love it.
It's weird seeing her in a dress, though.
A little bit.
Like, she had a jacket on top, but you could tell it was a dress underneath. It was like, what? Okay.
You can move around well in it, I guess.
Well, no, I don't mean that. It's like, I don't think I've ever thought of Nikki wearing a dress. I thought she would wear like a suit, like a...
Yeah. Not so much the elegant lady kind of look, I guess.
And it's not to say she isn't.
No.
But I don't know. I just don't imagine her being in a dress. But yeah, hey ho.
Hey ho.
Hey ho.
So then we move on to said simulated match. So it's for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Titus O'Neil joins the commentary team.
Again. Mm-hmm.
Again. There's a really weird ad for Hard Lemonade with Drew and Sheamus. Mike's Harder Lemonade or something.
It's like tea and lemonade mix.
Yeah. I think Hard Lemonade is usually alcoholic as well.
But this said it was on the bottle. It said half tea, half lemonade.
That sounds gross.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
It really does.
That sounds disgusting. It was a weird ad anyway. I don't even know what was happening, but Drew and Sheamus were in it, so it kind of led into the match, but weirdly made it feel like it was breaking up the introduction of the match and the actual match.
And then the nameplates had this. It's like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah. At least they didn't put it on the screens on the ring this time. Or did they?
No, they did. I'm pretty sure they did for a small amount.
For the start of the match,
yeah, maybe a couple of minutes, I think.
But not for the whole match, like some were the night before, luckily. Yeah, fun match. Heavy hitting, good storytelling.
So basically, these three guys wanted to make WrestleMania Choppermania.
Choppermania.
My God.
So many chops. They look painful. Did it go on a little bit too long? Maybe.
I think it was on the cusp of it.
Just getting there.
Maybe like 1 or 2 chops less might have been perfect. But it didn't go on as much like that. Was it Eddie Kingston and I can't remember who he was fighting.
Was that Daniel Bryan?
No, it was Forbidden Door. It was a Japanese wrestler. Was it Minoru Suzuki?
Oh,
might have been Minoru Suzuki, and that was Chop Central, and that was like, this is getting old now. Come on.
Yeah, but there were a lot of chops.
But like the ones that Gunther were giving Sheamus, like, oh God, my chest hurts.
I felt like he was going to go straight through him.
Like my chest hurts hearing those. Like, oh,
it was loud. Yeah.
Just make sure my chest is fine.
You're fine. You're good. Don't worry. There was a fun spot. Obviously, you've got there's a rivalry between Sheamus and McIntyre, and there's moments where Gunther's in the corner, and you've got Sheamus and Drew fighting each other for the chance to hit Gunther, which is quite fun. But then at the same time, you've got Gunther on the ropes. It sounds like Gunther's really at a disadvantage, but this was like just moments, and they're doing the 10 beats of the Balor run, but Drew and Sheamus are taking turns doing the hits. Yeah,
I think Drew was doing the clubbed fists, and I think Drew was doing chops. Was he? Was it chops?
Sheamus, I think he's doing it's like a.
It's like a clubbed fist across the chest. It's like this across the chest, and I think Drew was doing chops because Sheamus was on the outside on the apron holding Drew on Gunther, and then Drew was on the inside. So I'm pretty sure it was chops that he was giving.
Something like that.
I think they got to like 20. Was it?
There was up to 20 when Sheamus was hitting Drew. With,
no, that was up to like 28.
Yeah, that's right. They nearly got to 30, didn't they?
Yeah.
The crowd was keeping up
when
with
the announcers were like, oh, that was 29 and a half. No, it wasn't. Michael Cole, please learn to count.
You can't have half.
It was 28. Learn to count, please.
The crowd got it right. He didn't.
No offense to American crowds, but clearly they were on point that time. Because they usually can't count for Jack.
It always reminds me of when they're counting Cesaro's swings, and they're like counting every half a swing as one. It's like, come on, guys.
I reckon that's more seconds than
Yeah.
rotations, maybe, I don't know.
There should be
but then they always go, 30 seconds. Oh, that clearly got like 60 rotations. No, he didn't. He really didn't. He really didn't.
It's terrible. Don't like it. I got nothing else till the finish. You got anything to add?
Absolute banger.
It was a banger.
Banger. Absolute.
It was really fun.
Who, in your mind, was the standout, before we get into the finish, no matter the finish, who was the standout of these three for you?
I think Gunther.
Really? I think Shaemus.
Yeah, I think they all put on a really good show.
They did put on a good show, but for me, I think Shaemus really shone in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shaemus really shone.
So McIntyre and Sheamus wear each other down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then Gunther just flies in from...
Yeah, I think Drew hits the Claymore, if I remember rightly. Or it might have been the Future Shock DDT on Sheamus. And Gunther just flies in like a Boeing 747, just crunch! It's like, oh my god.
Flies in. So you've got Drew on the ground. Gunther gets Sheamus up and powerbombs him onto Drew. Then powerbombs Drew and pins him to win. And retains the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, and we both got that one correct. So now the thing with that is that Sheamus could easily go, well, I wasn't involved in the decision, so I deserve a match.
That's such a lame excuse. You know what you're getting into in these matches. You shouldn't get a...
To be fair, he didn't ask for the triple threat. Adam Pearce made it because the Imperium interfered in their singles match.
But, you know, it just feels like they do overuse that a little bit.
It's WWE, what do you expect?
I know, they use everything. All right.
Yep.
Good stuff. Next week there was a bit of a showcase of community events that are happening around WrestleMania and all the stuff they do
Los Angeles
with people, which is nice. And it sort of links into this one a bit, which we'll get to shortly. So the next match we've got Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was good in parts and a bit flat in others.
Sloppy in parts.
It was up and down, and you could feel it in the crowd. There were moments
There was a few points where the crowd just lost interest.
Yeah. You know, we say there's a lot of... Most PLEs will have a match that's the go get a drink sort of thing. But with this WrestleMania, when they've got so much filler, every match should have the audience engaged because they've got plenty of time in between to go do things. So it's sort of...
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a filler match. There were some really good moments, but it fell a little bit flat.
Yeah.
They did get the crowd back to the end, though.
At the end, yeah.
And they got quite loud by then.
The thing is, you want a match to go up, 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 and then kind of do this.
Yes.
This, I felt, went this. It's,
It did.
I felt it was they lost it a few times.
Which is a real shame.
And you know why, don't you? Because Bianca Belair is the boringness.
Asuka's entrance was cool, though.
Yeah.
There were maybe I think there was about four. I got it wrong. 4 people in the whole mask and the whole outfit, so the usual Asuka's gear. And we were looking at them and it's that's not the real Asuka, because they were all fiddling with the masks. I think they're the same type that Asuka used.
They might have been teasing taking off the mask to be Asuka.
Maybe it looked like they were just fiddling with them to me. So maybe that was just a directional issue. I don't know. But then they revealed behind them Asuka, who's in a different mask, and it's got all this green hair. I don't know.
Yeah, it was long strands coming off. I can't remember what colour it was now.
It has a good effect. And then she reveals her usual, the sort of almost clown-esque, creepy...
I'd probably say a Harley Quinn or a jester as opposed to a clown.
Yeah. It's the little dot on the nose that makes me think clown.
Yeah.
But it's all metallic paint and things.
Yeah, it's gold
really
with black
cool.
edging.
It's very, very
really
cool. She gets to the ring, and then we have Belair's entrance. And there's this little dance troupe of little girls, varying ages.
They're all preteens, I reckon.
Yeah, they've all got the long braid and the in sort of Belair-esque gear doing a dance to the entrance music. It was pretty cute. And then there's this little tiny one that came out at the end and did like a cartwheel and then did this thing where she's like face front on the ground and her legs
it was
are like
a front flip, wasn't it? Or a cartwheel.
Was it a front
more
flip?
like, I don't think it was a cartwheel.
She did something
Yeah,
athletic.
some sort of gymnastic type move, and then
and then ended up with her legs like over her head, like, whoa.
I said, Leanne, you need to learn to do that. She's like, nope.
But she was very cute. And then Bianca comes out, and that's all cool. That's all good. It sounds nice. And this, I think they mentioned this is a group, they're part of some educational program that they do with the communities thing.
I can't remember
they
the name of it.
help them with education and creativity and
Getting
all kinds of things. Community.
Activities and things, yeah.
Yeah.
They did say the name, but I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember. But yeah, we like to see that kind of stuff, helping the community and things. Make the most of the connections that you've got.
Yeah. If you're in the cities, you might as well use it, right?
Exactly. All right, fun things in this match. What was going on with Bianca's hair? What's happening? Usually she loses some of the sequins and diamantes she puts in there, which is to be expected. But the braid itself and the hair that's really slicked back stays like neat as a pin the whole time. But for tonight, this one, it was all over the place. It was all coming out, and I was like,
it wasn't even that far into the match.
No, it was like the first few minutes. It was already
just
hair
coming
out
loose.
everywhere.
It was awful.
And I was wondering if it was gonna be like, this is where change happens. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But I thought maybe it was happening on purpose to lead into something like having to lose the hair because it's getting in the way now or something.
I said, wouldn't it be cool if they kind of had the hair come out and then it's like Samson and she loses her strength and power and stuff, and that's like her, oh my god, like that's my source of my winning abilities and stuff, my EST and stuff and whatever.
Yep.
And then they'd have to change the gimmick.
Yeah, but there were moments where, like, because usually she does some flippy moves, but she's always got the hair held so it's not getting in the way or anything. But she, like, lost her grip on it a few times, and it ended up, like, whipping Asuka unintentionally as part of the move. And it's a bit, like...
sloppy.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something went wrong. Maybe she got a different hairstylist or something, and it just hasn't worked. But that's alright. It's okay.
Is it?
Asuka tried to get the blue mist and missed.
Referee was like, funny. And then she started adjusting her eyelashes. The referee just kind of started doing to her eyelashes, like, you're not even really supposed to be seen in this match. What are you doing with your eyelashes?
I didn't notice that.
Right after the blue mist.
Yeah, a bit weird. But then after a back and forth struggle, which included Bianca managing to get out of an armbar, which was, we thought that was going to be it, that armbar, because Asuka does a good one. And she was right in the middle of the ring, but she got out of it. Bianca hits a KOD on Asuka.
She literally just powers her off the mat.
Yeah.
And, like, fair play, I'll give her credit where it's due. That was a feat of strength.
Yeah, she is super strong. She is the strongest, maybe. I don't know. Put her up against Raquel Rodriguez and I'll see.
I'd reckon Shayna's stronger than Bianca and Raquel.
Strength contest!
Because the thing is, the Shayna's a legit fighter.
Yeah, that's right.
She has to have the strength.
Who knows?
But we'll never see, because WWE don't value Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Honestly, go back to NXT. You had a much better run there.
But yeah, Bianca hits the KOD on Asuka and pins her to win and retain the Raw Women's Championship. It's a bit of a... And yeah, apparently she's held it for it's been 365 days.
No, it hasn't.
Even though this WrestleMania is earlier than last WrestleMania. So
by like 3 or 4 days.
It's not been 365 days yet. But they're clearly showing that she's also not going to lose it at Raw after Mania then.
I don't know, it depends if someone big turns up.
Yeah, could happen. Anything can happen. There were kind of moments where I thought that maybe, again, it's sort of hoping for change. Bianca sort of did some almost heel kind of actions. It's that start where she sort of exploded out of the gate and just wouldn't let Asuka get any breathing room for the first like minute or so.
Is that heelish though? I don't think it's heelish.
I don't know, it felt a bit. Felt a little bit to me like maybe it's wishful thinking.
If she'd had Asuka in the ropes and was pounding her and the ref was counting and she didn't break until the 5 count, then fair enough. But I wouldn't say it's heelish.
I don't know. Gave me vibes. We'll say that. But yeah, I don't know. When after the match, I was like, okay, yeah, they're not changing it. Nothing's changing.
Do you know what that makes it? The crap-est. We both predicted Asuka to win, and we lost that one.
Boo!
I'm really annoyed with that one.
Yeah. Filler spot, Snickers ad, the one with the Alpha Academy. Advert for Legends and Rivals.
You told me everyone sleeps with a nightlight.
It is a really funny one. The football guy who interfered with Pat McAfee is still hanging around. And then they did a recap of the main event from WrestleMania Saturday, which most people who are watching WrestleMania Sunday would have seen for themselves less than 24 hours previously. It's fine. They've got to fill the gaps.
I get like a 30-second like montage clip kind of thing.
This is a long recap.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't understand that. And there's another one that comes later on, which is just like...
This wasn't the worst recap.
Huh?
We'll get there.
Needless to say, it was not a quality recap. Ooh. You saw what I did there.
Alright, we go to the ring with The Miz and Snoop Dogg announcing the attendance record of 81,395. And then they sort of combine it with WrestleMania Saturday's one, which I haven't written down because I'm like, most of them are the same people. I don't know. I know what they're doing, but it doesn't feel like it should be. It's not a useful statistic.
I guess the way they get run it is it's not 161,000 unique people.
But it doesn't mean anything, does it? You just filled the arena twice, mostly with the same people.
Yeah. I mean, most of the front row is pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. And the second and third. Yeah. I recognise a lot of faces.
Because they sell it as packages. A lot of people that are going to go to one night are going to go to both, as long as they can afford it. So, I don't know.
You know what they need to do? Mm-hmm. Go back to One Night WrestleMania.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Make it a one-night spectacular special event.
Let's do that.
I wouldn't mind that being 5 or so hours at that point.
No.
You know?
Yeah. And less filler, thank you.
Yeah.
Put the filler on the 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah, you need less filler at that point.
Less filler. Okay, so The Miz is sort of having a go at Snoop Dogg a bit for making the match with Pat McAfee official the night before. And Snoop Dogg just responds, "My bad." And Miz keeps going on, and then Snoop's like, "Oh, I didn't mean about last night," and then points to the screen, because obviously he's done something.
I meant, my bad.
My bad. And then...
Here comes the money.
Shayna McMahon.
Shayna O'Mac. I was just like, what the hell?
There he is. Crazy. Didn't expect that. So at least we got a surprise that was a surprise.
A decent one, yeah.
Way, Shane McMahon.
Stupid Pat McAfee. Ugh.
So, like previously, you've then got the match about to start. Snoop Dogg still talking into the mic, sort of heading out of the ring. It's like, "I'm out of here." And then
Miz give me a ref. I'm out of here.
Miz is yelling at him, and he just responds, "You take care of what's in there. I'm out here." I love that line.
Yeah.
So good.
And he actually got out of the ring quite easily this time.
Yeah. I love Snoop Dogg.
Do you think they were like,
so
"Snoop Dogg, please don't get as high as you did for Saturday. And please make it out of the ring without having a referee hold the ropes for you. And please go over the middle rope, because you've got long legs, mate. Honestly."
Do you think he had a lesson in how to get out of
I
the ring?
reckon he probably did. Yeah.
Bless.
Probably from The Miz.
Probably. Before Miz even gets his suit jacket off, I don't think he takes it off the whole match, but the match is made with him and Shane, and it's over pretty quickly.
That's one way to say it.
They do some running of the ropes, I think.
Well, Shane gets some shots in.
Yeah.
He's got a wicked left-hand jab, and he hits him in the corner.
They run the ropes a bit. I think Shane jumps over him as part of that.
Yeah.
And then...
He goes to jump over him twice, if I remember rightly.
He's sort of on the ground. He sort of shifts himself to stop Miz from going any further.
Yeah, he kind of goes to jump, and he just crumples in a heap on the ground, and it's like...
And he's holding his knee, and like, something's
wrong. What the hell's going on? Like, is this a work, or what?
Yeah.
And then the ref runs over.
And they're sort of the Miz doing the pacing thing you do when you're like buying time. You're not sure what's happening.
Yeah. People knock the Miz, but damn, he's got good ring presence.
He really does. Yeah.
Like, come on.
He really does.
Honestly, give him credit he deserves.
But something definitely was wrong, and Snoop Dogg noticed, and he's like, "Right, we need to save this segment." So jumps in the ring and punches Miz in the face.
Yeah.
And so just sort of has punching him and fighting him and basically saying, "What have you done to my mate?" kind of thing. Not in those words, because that Snoop Dogg wouldn't say the word mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did a good job. He pulled it back. He didn't let it get to the point where the crowd started like saying, "What's happening? What's going on?" Which was, you know, Snoop Dogg has good ring awareness apparently. Who would have guessed it?
Imagine if he was still high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really high at this point. He'd just be like,
Probably.
hey.
But then the ref gets into it as well, so it sees what's happening. He's like, okay, cool, we got this.
They kind of roll Shayna at that point, I think.
Shane gets out to get some medical attention. And we've got Snoop Dogg running the ropes a bit, and he does sort of does the people's elbow.
Yeah, he's kind of looking for he's going for his arm pad, and he's like, nope, goes to the other way, he's like, nope, he goes, glasses, huh, and he just tosses him to the side, and then he's like, that's not what, The Rock just kind of goes like that, and then starts running the ropes.
It's so
and
good.
he, like, no offense to Snoop Dogg, he can't run for jack.
No.
Like, he looks so weird running. It's like
Legs
you watch.
are so long,
you
though.
watch Keanu Reeves run. Keanu Reeves does not bend his knees when he runs. Snoop Dogg is almost doing that kind of thing, but he's just like la 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 la.
And he does. To be fair, it's not the picture perfect people's elbow, but he gave it a good
The
shot.
actual elbow drop was
It's
pretty decent.
Good.
He did kind of go a bit too far over, so I think he ended up putting half his body weight on the Miz, and then we could see the Miz like.
But then Snoop Dogg pins the Miz and wins the match that was between the Miz and Shane. But this is fine. Everyone is okay with this. The ref called it. And it made a decent filler segment.
So, while we haven't seen the post-Mania press conference, which they started doing now, but Triple H confirmed that Shane McMahon has tore his quad during that match. So I guess he's not in this.
Yeah.
Whatever. And everything that Snoop Dogg did was complete improvisation. Everything he did, and it's just like.
Yeah, fair play.
Fair play, Snoop Dogg. Fair play.
He knows how to keep a show going. I think he would have that skill from his own performances, probably, because anything could go wrong when you're live. So he can think on his feet. Yeah. I don't know whether the Miz expected that to happen at all, but he played.
Well, the thing is, with the Rings Miz awareness, oh god, here we go.
The ring is really Miz aware. With the Miz's ring awareness.
With the Miz's ring awareness, he's clearly seeing what Snoop Dogg's doing. He's in the ring, and he's like, well, he's not supposed to be in the ring. What's going on? He's kind of looking. I bet the camera panned down, and they were looking at something else, and they kind of had an exchange, and they probably nodded to each other or something. It's like, all right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
And then obviously the Snoop Dogg just swings, and the Miz is like, oh, just go over there. Okay.
This is the match now.
And again, that's like. And I know Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, he's gone on record as saying The Miz is not a good human being. But in the ring, he's got amazing talent. Even Daniel Bryan has said that. Mm-hmm. You know, and that speaks volumes. Because I think too many people sleep on The Miz. Mm-hmm. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He is awesome!
It's just another one that's been relegated to the comedy act.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. Well, that was that match.
Yep.
So on to the next, which is, there's a weird beeping noise. I don't know what that is. Should I try and find out? I don't know what that was. Was it next door?
It might have been a car outside or something. That was really loud. Damn. Okay, continue.
Anyway,
wow.
The next match is Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. It was a car. So this is the weird one where they announce the start of the match and then go into an advert for the Pope, well, the trailer for the Pope's Exorcist.
The Pope's Exorcist.
Which is a Russell Crowe film coming to cinemas soon.
In the UK, it's Friday. In America, it's the 14th of April.
It's a bit weird, right? They usually get stuff before us.
We're saying that we always get the Marvel movies before them because it's filmed in UK usually.
Ah, that's true. True. And if it's about the Pope, it's probably filmed in Europe.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah. So then they start with the usual like.
It's coming out on my birthday.
Oh, it's birthday. It's the usual. As the cage starts descending, they do the tension music. But to add to it this time, we've got a Russell Crowe monologue.
Well, they kind of cut to like candles and stuff on the screen with crosses, and then a figure. It's like the face in like this dark, almost foggy, hazy kind of thing, and then this Russell Crowe. And he starts giving a spiel about the devil and the demons and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was really cool. I really liked that.
Because they showed the candles and things before they went to the trailer, and then after the trailer, the candles and stuff weren't there anymore.
That's right. That's
why it felt a bit jarring.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's good. They brought it back. Russell Crowe.
But Leanne, are you not entertained?
I was pretty entertained through this whole match, actually. But yeah.
Let me know in the comments below if you get the reference.
If you don't, you probably.
Oh, I should have brought the helmet down.
Oh. So the Edge's entrance.
The Edge.
The Edge.
The Edge.
He's the Edge now. No, that's from you too, isn't it? The Edge. Mm-hmm. Sorry, just Edge. He's got a riser. He's got fire.
Did you notice what it said on the screens though?
Brood Edge. Because it's from the Brood. He's also got the Brood on the back of his jacket.
But before we see any of the riser or the fire, what happens?
Slayer.
Slayer! Yes! Yes!
Slayer at WrestleMania.
I'm there having kittens. I'm like, wait, that's Slayer. I'm like, that's Slayer. I'm telling you now, that is Slayer.
I was trying to listen. It's like, if this is live Slayer, he's gonna just lose his mind. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but it's.
Imagine Slayer just stood on the top of the stage, just Kerry King just going for it, like,
Imagine.
You missed a trick, Triple H. I thought you were a metal fan. Come on, mate, sort it out.
Instead, we get little Uzi, what's his face, from Saturday.
Batman.
Slayer, smoke, fire, riser, fun times. The Miz, Edge has this really cool sort of mask thing, which goes like down to chest level. It's all mirror ball kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But without eyes.
The eyes are just black.
So it's like a crystal skull, but not like Indiana Jones. We don't like that one.
It's like a disco ball skull.
Disco ball skull. But somehow, really, really worked with the flames and everything. The light bouncing off it looked pretty intimidating.
And then the wings.
The wings, he had wings. Like
bat wings almost.
It was pretty cool. It was really cool.
The devil is in the building.
Devil's in the building. And off he goes, into the ring, into the cage.
Yeah, it kind of cuts away, cuts back, and he hasn't got his mask with his wings, and it's like,
where'd it go?
Where the hell did that go?
And then you see that he's got like a back patch on his jacket, which is the Brood, which was pretty
That reminded me a lot of the Lost Boys cover, or poster, or whatever you call it. That gave me vibes of that, which is cool.
Yeah. And then Finn Balor's entrance. I've gone too far. He's using his old music.
Yeah.
Love it.
And we noticed with the tentacles coming down, there was like red and purple ones, and it's like, oh, is he going purple demon?
In his paint, he's got red and purple, as well as the black.
And the, I don't know, tassels. Tassels isn't the right word.
His ribbons.
His danglies are purple.
Purple danglies. Oh dear, see a doctor.
Wow.
He also had purple smoke flares, which he was like waving about, and then seemed to not know what to do with himself for a bit. He was like,
that kind of the way that reminded me of we went to Bloodstock last year, so Behemoth, and the way they had the two smoke flares, one blue, one yellow, and they come off, and they were they were saying about going off to war. And I got a lot of like things from that, and I felt that sort of.
I do feel like when he was sort of waving them around, doing a bit of a weave, it was having a really cool effect. But because he sort of ended up just being like holding them, it just made his face disappear.
Yeah, a little bit.
Move them, do something, and then he drops them on the floor when they're practically done.
But I kind of felt that was almost the same sort of vibe that Edge and Finn are about to go to war.
Yeah.
You know, and that was really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Likening to me.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so they're in the cage. It was a weird moment as Finn's about to get in.
They're in the cell.
In the cell, sorry. He sort of rattles the...
Hi, Rex.
Goes up to the wall by the entrance to sort of shake it to be intimidating, but it's the door, so the ref's holding it. It's like, whoa, what is happening?
That was weird.
So that didn't work. I very much enjoyed this match. It was very entertaining. It was pretty good, but there were some weird choices.
Yeah,
there were some very weird choices. There were. Some, but not all, of the chairs, kendo sticks, and tables were coloured either red or purple. Not all of them.
Yeah.
But some.
They kind of looked like you know, it's going to be a really weird simile, but the guns where you get, the fake guns have the orange tip to them.
Yeah.
It's like safety and they're like not meant to be real. It kind of felt like that. It's like,
bit.
oh, this is a chair. What's it made of?
Ones.
Plastic?
Yeah, a bit interesting. There was something off about Demon Finn Balor in this match. It's been a while since we've seen Demon Finn Balor, so I might be misremembering or
SummerSlam before last, if I remember rightly. Or was it Extreme Rules before last when he lost to Roman Reigns?
Possibly. I might have
when
like
the rope just
false
buckled
memories.
out and he was like, what the hell was that?
So weird. But he's making a lot more like noises.
Yes.
And faces.
Hey.
And the way I kind of felt like it's previously, he felt like he was the demon.
Yeah.
But here, he was sort of pretending to be the demon. So
yeah.
It's like he's trying to be what he used to be, but isn't anymore. I don't know if that's like part of the story, and he's not really got the demon back. He's just
it was it's Extreme Rules 2021.
Okay. Or if it's just he didn't do a good job.
And we surmise that he's either A, overplaying it, or B, that what you were saying is it's not the real demon, it's him playing as the demon, but because he's with the Judgment Day, he's almost not being true to his own nature.
Yeah, so maybe the
and
demon
he's
won't be
forcing
summoned now.
almost.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's a bit odd. I hope that it's something on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I really like Finn Balor. Or Balor.
Balor. As Michael Cole called him, was it?
Yeah.
Was it Michael Cole?
I can't remember now. That was the whole 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good match. There was
a
lot of moments where the both was like on the edge of the seats and sort of yelling at the TV.
Oh wait, I think I might have it.
Uh-huh.
What was the sponsor for the match?
For
Pope's
this one,
Exorcist,
Pope's Exorcist.
Right? When Edge jams the kendo sticks to hold him in, he's almost like, if you imagine someone being strapped down and being exercised, that almost kind of what it feels like. It might have been that. Maybe it was almost like a simile of Edge performing an exorcism on the demon. Maybe. I don't know. It just feels a bit, not lame, but a bit weak.
It is a bit weak. You know, it wasn't weak. When Edge threw a ladder at Finn Balor's face.
God.
Finn's on the edge. Oh, Edge.
He's kind of coming off the ropes,
yeah. Edge gets a ladder out from under the ring. The crowd's like, oh, he's gonna do something. And Edge just launches the thing at Finn.
Who was it?
Finn gets his arms up, but you can see his head like
the force that Edge hit. His arms probably just went poof. It's like, oh, God.
And you can see blood on the ladder, and then just
when Edge picked it back up and put it in the corner, it's just a spot of blood, and it's like, that's instant blood on that ladder.
Instant blood. That was
and then instantly the ref's like, stop. The crowd are like, boo, and the medics are running in, and I think the commentator said the cage has been opened for the doctors as well, if I remember at one point.
I think so. So you got Edge trying to sort of buy time by dragging random things from out of the ring.
Setting the ladder up.
Never like get used, but it's fine. It's fine. He was doing his job.
I guess that's kind of more leading into he might be faking it and prepping myself.
Yes, maybe. I think that sounds like a good way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Finn gets fixed up a bit, probably with paper stitches of Vaseline and stuff like that. And gets back into it. Extra angry, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Another cool moment. Well, it could have been cooler. You had Finn Balor going up to the corner and like, oh, he's going to do a coup de grace.
Yeah.
From there, he goes to a ladder, I think.
Platform.
He like jumps onto the cage, like, oh, he's going to climb up. He's going to do a coup de grace from really high up. Gets onto this platform, which no one had noticed.
It's only about this much higher than the ropes, and it's like...
It could have been really cool, but the perspective did make it obvious that it wasn't actually much higher than he'd normally do it from. It was still pretty cool. Edge was at this point on a table in the ring, so a bit extra, but then rolls off. So the coup de grace feet first through the table. Luckily, they had weakened it beforehand a bit, so that Finn didn't break his ankles all the way down.
He didn't do a Dante.
Didn't do a Dante Martin, no. You know what I missed?
What?
Edge sandwich.
Yeah.
I missed the edge sandwich. It's funny. I found it funny. Table set up in the corner.
Table, yeah.
Purple table.
That's outside against the cell corner.
In the cell corner. Edge. How did it even happen? Did Edge?
I think he gets Irish. No, he gets Irish whipped. Because he goes back first through it.
Right.
And he's laying there, and then the top half of the table just goes thump.
So he's literally just...
You can see Edge was like, oh, he wasn't expecting. You can see his arm just sort of twitch underneath, like, and it wasn't like it was like almost like an instinct reaction kind of. That was funny.
Edge sandwich. That's fun. All right, and then I head to the finish. Have you got anything to add first?
It's a great flow. I thought this match, despite the stoppage, is the only other thing I've really got.
Yeah, it's a great match.
And did I mention Slayer?
Slayer. Edge hits.
Should have won Slayer top.
Finn with the concerto and pins him to win. Edge wins.
Yep.
Edge wins. Weird choices.
Yep.
But probably my favourite match so far.
Yeah, I mean, this, you've just given away the whole thing. We predicted Finn Balor to win, so we both got that one wrong. But I do still feel that Finn Balor would have been the right choice to go over. Because this is now, I think, the third time in the row the Demon's lost. You've just basically completely devalued the Demon.
A little bit. The Demon was meant to be like the unbeatable alter ego of Finn Balor.
Yeah, Vince McMahon started that downfall. Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, Vince. Okay, anything else on that one?
Slayer!
Slayer! Now we go into the ultimate filler run as they clear the ring of blood and cages and
I think I said they're going to have to change the mat after this.
Yeah. So we get...
So one thing I can imagine them going is Finn's going, can we have that platform a little bit higher on the cage? Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, come on, safety, pal. He's gone back to the back going, safety, what that ladder to my face, pal.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right, recap of all of the film skits that they did.
Yeah, which lasted a good sort of 3 or 4 minutes.
It was really long.
Well,
I left the room and came back.
Well, yeah, you went and left the room to make a cup of tea, and you made the cup of tea and came back in by the time it had ended.
It's still happening. Had an interview with Bianca Belair, who retained the championship, and the girls who were the dancers were in as well, chanting EST. They're cute. I don't mind them.
Yeah, the girls are fine, but she's the lamest, boringest, crappest.
Ad for Backlash.
Yawnest.
A recap from the Hall of Fame, which then leads into they bring out each of the class of 2023 onto the stage.
Is that filler if they do it every year?
It's sort of in the same segment, but yeah, it is a tradition, and it means that I think it turns into filler when most of the people who are at WrestleMania were also at the Hall of Fame.
No, not necessarily.
No, it was in a different arena.
It was in a different arena.
It? But I know quite a few of them were.
Yeah, I know Green Show was.
People, isn't it?
Green
the ones
Show
that go
was,
to everything probably get discounts and free tickets. Because how else do they afford to go to every single PLE?
Front row as well.
Ugh, it's like thousands. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Sponsor us. An ad for WrestleMania 40. And then the weirdest bit of filler, which is a replay of Seth Rollins' entire entrance from the night before. The whole thing. They didn't recap any of the match. Literally just the entrance. So coming out in the Quality Street outfit with
because he came out and I thought, wait, this has gone on a bit long. Are they going to recap the entire match? Are they just going to show the entire match again?
But it's even like, just when he's walking normally down to the ring, that whole thing was just replayed. So I think, were they like stuck for time and they had to put something extra in, like just play a bit more of this video?
Maybe they just needed extra time to clear the ring.
Maybe. It was a lot.
But it doesn't take long to change a map.
No.
But then I guess with the video screens it might take a bit longer, but I want to think it would take 8 segments. Was it 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8.
8 filler spots.
It's a lot.
And one of them was the Hall of Fame inductees coming out and stuff,
yeah,
so that took
really
probably about part of 5 minutes.
I don't know. Then there were a couple of ads, DraftKings and the tax sponsor that I hate because they show up on the screen way too much.
Yeah.
And then, guess what time it is?
It's time for Leanne's Signs of the PLE.
You know it!
Yeah, I got it right! That's one prediction I got right and you didn't.
I predicted it right. I designed it. Leanne Signs of the PLE. Leanne Signs of the PLE.
Play.
There you go. My handsome assistant.
No, Rex left, you went outside. Ah!
Welcome to the segment within our show where I talk about signs. It was a little better than WrestleMania Saturday, but not by a huge amount. But I have enough to have a 3-2-1, so that's what we want.
So it's infinitely 66 times better than
66.66666% or whatever it is. It's some stupid number, isn't it? 3 times as good. In 3rd place, Tribal Cheese.
Tribal cheese.
Tribal cheese. Instead of tribal
That's
cheese.
quite a late one as well. I think
it was
notes were quite late.
I think whoever had it just was doing, some people with signs, they do a walk around so they can get on the hard cam. It was one of those. I saw it later on, sort of near the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
So that was that one. I sold my heart for tickets.
Hey, Leanne, what would you sell for WrestleMania tickets?
I don't know if I'd sell my heart, because you can't live without it. Maybe my kidneys.
Yeah.
Who needs kidneys? My appendix, they can have that. I still got one of those. What would you sell for tickets?
Rags.
Oh no! He only cost £5.
Yeah, exactly. It's a win-win. There's a no-lose situation.
And number 1, which I chose because you found it so amusing. Believe that.
Believe that.
Believe that. Spelled Belleedat.
Believe that.
Believe that. Which is Roman Reigns.
I don't even know why that tickled me. It was just funny.
It's how
I
he
think
sounds.
it's just the way it yeah, exactly.
Some just believe that. But
Roman Reigns can't speak.
Who needs letters?
It's his false teeth, right? It's his fake teeth. The ones that are glaringly false.
Uncannily straight and bright white teeth that cannot possibly be real.
His teeth are whiter than damn
ever.
paper. Come on.
It reminds me, you haven't seen Friends, but there's an episode where Ross gets his teeth whitened and they end up being glow in the dark. That's what it reminds me of.
I wonder if his are glow in the dark.
You'd never lose him. Wow.
Roman, where are you? Smile. Oh, there he is.
So yeah, Belida wins.
Belida.
Congratulations. And that was...
Here's your no prize.
Here's your no prize. Leanne signs up the PLE. Leanne signs up the PLE. Clap. Thank you for watching. And that leads us nicely on, talking of Roman Reigns, to...
The main
event. Ruined it. Ruined it again. Every time. It's the main
See what
event.
I gotta work with you.
It's the main event. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. Although sometimes they don't say heavyweight.
But yet on the belt it says World Heavyweight Champion. Although we did notice, or I noticed that they've photoshopped it out. If you go back and watch where it's saying coming up next, Roman Reigns, and they've got that image of Roman Reigns holding the 2 belts. The black belt doesn't have World Heavyweight Champion on it, but it has Universal Champion on it.
On the other belt.
And it's glaringly obvious that something used to be there, and it's glaringly obvious that it's been photoshopped out.
It's weird. Don't like it. They're changing things. They're changing the wrong things when they should be changing other things.
Yeah.
Alright, Cody's entrance. He has a riser.
Yes, he does. Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Whee!
That's because they were using it for a few
Edge.
other people as well.
It was only Edge.
I'm sure someone used it on Saturday as well.
No.
I'm sure they did, because they were saying, did they have a riser?
No, that was for Rey Mysterio. I thought he was going to do his ejection, but they didn't.
Nah. That would have been cool though. Anyway, yes, he has his riser. It's good. Comes down to the ring. At ringside, there's Brandy, his wife, and his baby daughter, who he hugs and carries for a little bit, and is very, very cute because she's hugging him and very much a daddy's girl, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And then he takes his weight belt and gives it to a kid standing near them, who is Brody Lee's son, which is really cool.
Yeah, and they actually make reference of it as well. And Leanne's like, whoa, he's grown up. I haven't seen him without the mask. Like, no, wrong son.
Wrong son.
Wrong son.
It's quite nice though, because -1 gets a lot of attention over in AEW.
Yep.
But we don't really hear anything about this other one. No. Maybe he didn't want to go into wrestling, perhaps. So
we did on
the
tribute show to Brody Lee when AEW did that.
Yeah, he'd have been there.
You see them there.
But it's nice for him to get sort of a bit of screen time for himself. And
recognition for Brody Lee as well. The company that he didn't work in when he unfortunately passed.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I like that. I like the fact that they mentioned Brody Lee. I thought that was great.
Yeah, it really is. So we like these things. These things.
This thing.
These things.
This thing.
And then Roman's entrance.
Boo.
Many pianos.
6.
Many pianos. Usually
6.
Usually you have one piano. But this is many pianos. I think they're playing his entrance music.
They were.
But it's very
They started off with something else.
It's quite jazzy.
I'm trying to figure out if that might have been something from like Godfather or something. The beginning bit. I don't know. I'm not seeing Godfather.
No. Might be something original.
It sounded familiar. And then they went into Roman's music.
You know, I couldn't even tell from the music that they were playing 6 pianos.
No.
Like, surely 2 pianos, you'd have had something just as nice. I don't know. 1 piano, you can still get something pretty nice on it, with maybe even 2 people at 1 piano.
That's just them going, we've got loads of money to spend. How many pianos can we fit on the stage?
How many pianos can we get? Can we afford Slayer? I think I'd prefer 6 pianos.
I mean, to be fair, Slayer don't tour anymore, so...
I know, but you know.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have a one-off, though. Or just have Kerry King there. Just have Kerry King just doing the song. They didn't have any lyrics to the Slayer song. It was just the instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
So yeah, they play music, and then stand up as Roman enters and heads to the ring, and then sit down and pretend to play the rest of the time as well. So that's nice. And then the match. Real good match.
Yeah.
It was, again, another sort of edge of the seat one. I think we're already hyped up from the Hell in a Cell match, and that energy sort of continued on. In
our predictions, we did say, I think one of the questions we asked was, do you think this match will live up to the hype? And you said no. I think going in with that, not low expectation, but a lower than higher expectation, I think that helped it.
Yeah, because you're not expecting it to be show-stopping, so if it's really good, you're going to just enjoy it for what it is. You don't want to go in with extra hype if it's going to be medium hype, because then it'll feel like terrible.
Yep.
It's always the way. What happens? So Roman is joined by Solo as he comes down, so he's hanging out ringside. And we're like, well, he's definitely getting involved. But guess what? He gets involved
3 times. And the referee looks at him like the first 2 times and he's like, mate, if you've got any just cause, just boot him out of the arena, right?
Like, I know it was you.
What are you up to?
Just waiting to catch him red-handed, but he's already interfered twice. For the first time, it's a chair shot to Cody's back. It was sort of a jab with the chair rather than a hit. You know what I mean? It's a chair jab.
Yeah, he just kind of jams it in his ribs.
And the ref's like, what did you do?
Yeah, Cody's down the outside, he's like, He turns around and the ref's like, huh?
Something has happened here.
And he just looks over at Solo and he's like, Like, I get the feeling if the ref had a beard, he'd be like,
Yes, I think so. Then a bit later on, Cody's at the ropes about to run at Roman, and Solo sort of sweeps his leg out to drop him down. And again, the ref turns around like, Cody just fell. So suspicious.
Just lost his footing, pal, you know? That ring apron's a bit loose.
And then the third time, Solo commits the ultimate crime by stealing the weight belt from Brody Lee's son. Terrible. And then hits Cody with it, which isn't as terrible, but you know.
Absolute monster of a man.
But that makes a loud noise, so now the ref is in no doubt that something nefarious has happened.
Yeah, I love the way the Solo just sort of throws the belt, and then he stands back and he's like... and the ref's like, I heard you!
And then ejects him to everyone's joy, I suppose, but also...
Apart from Heyman and Roman.
Out he goes.
Bye-bye.
Roman picks up the belt as the ref is sort of ejecting him and facing the other way, but the ref turns around and sees him before he can do anything, starts snatching it off him. It's like, give it to me! Because he wants it rather than giving it back to the kid. The ref wants it for himself, pretty sure.
Damn you, Dan the ref.
But as they're fighting over it, Cody super kicks Roman and hits the crossroads and gets a pretty good pin attempt that could have been it. Yeah. But it's not.
I don't think at that point Cody had enough offense to weaken Reigns significantly.
But sort of, it felt like it's when it's a sequence of moves. It's like hard hit, pin. You're like, could it be?
Well, it was a super kick and a crossroads. It's not really hard hitting. Like if he'd hit like a super kick, then the disaster kick, and then a crossroads, you'd be like, oh, that's like almost 3 signature moves. Like, come on.
One move too short.
Yeah, I think so.
At least. Yeah, that's cool. We had our second ref bump of WrestleMania. We had one in the first match of WrestleMania, and now one in the last match of WrestleMania.
Bookended nicely though.
Lovely, nice and neat. Although this was a pretty lame ref bump.
Oh, it was awful.
Cody sort of accidentally kicks him a little bit
grazed him.
inside.
Grazed him with his big toe.
Ref just drops.
Oh, I'm made of paper.
And rolls out onto the side. It's like, okay, bye ref. And at this point, the Usos take advantage by running in, super kick Cody, double super kick.
Yeah.
Go to check on Roman.
And the crowd start going nuts.
It's like, oh.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. KO Zania back in the house.
Back in the house. They've got it. I mean, the Usos are interfering. So they come out, they take the Usos out, they deliver a stunner and a haluva kick to Roman Reigns, and then fight the Usos out of the arena. So they did their job, but has the damage been done? Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
The ref is back in for Cody to cover, but the count is so slow.
I've seen you'll have an account fast on this.
So it's like, dude, if you've been kicked in the head, we could understand this.
Yeah.
You were just grazed in the side. You would not be counting this slow. So Roman kicks out.
Counting arm.
Count with the other arm. You got two for a reason.
But I'm right-handed.
Yeah. Well, Roman obviously kicked out, but it left you feeling if the ref was counting properly, would he have kicked out? And probably not. He just took a stunner and a haluva kick in quick succession. So, but there we go. And this is the point. You got Heyman on the outside looking like really worried.
Yeah.
And we're like, you have no idea which way this is going to go at this point because it's been so.
There's a point where he's on his knees and he's like
praying. Cody does hit a bionic elbow, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah.
Tribute to Dusty.
Yeah. Hits the jabs.
Hits the jabs. Elbow follows up with one of the right hands where he like drops down to the floor and jabs up, which is, it just looks really cool. I don't know how effective that is, but it's like a surprise attack.
Well, I guess if you're knocking someone down that way, they're not going to expect a fist coming up to their face. It's like, it's just kind of jarring, I'd imagine.
And then he hits two crossroads.
He's starting to go for a third, because he keeps hold of him.
Yeah, keeps hold of him. But then Heyman distracts the ref, and Solo's back, all hooded up so the ref doesn't know he's there, I suppose, and attacks Cody from behind. Hits
him with the Samoan spike.
Yeah, right in the throat.
Yeah. Well, that's what the Samoan spike is.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the commentator said a Samoan spike right to the throat, so I'm just using their words. It's fine. I don't know enough about wrestling to not agree with what they say. But this then allows Roman to hit a spear. One spear. Obviously he's done more before, but like a single spear covers pin. 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
A normal 3 count. And he wins. And retains.
And the crowd kind of go,
huh?
What?
Yeah.
And we kind of go,
reaction.
What?
I was just really deflated. It was such a good match, but we'd been saying before, and a lot of other people think the same, and maybe creative at WWE don't feel the same, but it was the right time to pass on the titles.
Yeah.
It was the right time for Cody to get something. It was the right time for some tribute to be made to Dusty Rhodes and to have that sort of legacy, that story finish up. Because it would feel weird now continuing that and saying, well, I still want to get it for Dusty.
But you didn't do it on your own, so blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's a whole, I don't know, it's just dragging it out. Roman's still the champion.
So,
he's not going to defend it enough, and it's just going to be boring.
Do you know what this all boils down to? And I realised this thinking about it after we finished watching it, right? As we were getting ready and stuff.
Yeah. Is it porn stash?
It's porn stash. It's porn stash. So, regardless of whether or not everyone is like, oh, Vince has no deal in creative, he's got nothing, he submits ideas, blah, 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 Triple H's ultimate at the end. But he's his father-in-law, and he kind of has to kind of listen to what's being said because Vince is still the majority shareholder as it stands right now. Okay? So, Cody Rhodes, if I remember rightly, just walked out of the company. He didn't even serve his contract. He started up a new company, AEW. He waltzes back into WWE to the fanfare. Is this the year-long's Vince way of giving him the middle finger of screw you, pal. You screw me? No, I screw you.
He does have a history of punishing people like this.
He holds grudges. He's a dick.
Yeah. It's really disappointing. The one thing that cheered me up slightly with this whole thing was as the Bloodline were heading back up the ramp, the camera briefly goes back to Cody in the ring, and next to his head is a rubber chicken.
Yeah, that was weird.
Someone in the crowd must have chucked it, but it's just like, why? And then very pointedly, they don't go back to the ring until Cody's like in a different position and this rubber chicken's probably cleared out. Like, why?
Like, this was the perfect time to tell the end of the Bloodline.
It was.
The Usos have lost the belts. Mm-hmm. Roman should have lost the belts. This is the downfall of the Bloodline. That's the whole point.
You can't have someone look indestructible for this long. It's boring.
And now you've like back in the day with Bruno Sammartino and Pedro Morales and that, it's fine because they held the belts. I think Bruno's held it for like 7 years, whatever it is. But there was no internet. There was no syndicated TV. There's no weekly TV show. You know, it was live events, and they travel the country and have maybe every other week or whatever, you'd have a show, whatever, and you wouldn't have them there constantly. No. And that's kind of what they're doing with Roman. But the problem is, with a weekly TV show, with the internet, with YouTube, with so much social media, you have to have that belt on display.
Yeah, it's a different way of working now, and it's a bit like instant gratification culture where we've got so much stuff available now and at our fingertips that if things don't move quickly, people get bored quickly. And maybe that is a downside of the culture we're in, but it's reality.
Yeah.
You can't have it the same way it used to be when, like you said, you used to only be able to see a show once a month or something. So if they changed titles frequently, a champion wasn't going to get a showing at all. So it wouldn't make sense. Yeah. But now it does. He's getting plenty of TV time and not defending enough, but whatever.
Is it like, I think it was 25 title defenses in like 2.5 years.
It's
like,
silly.
No.
Come on, man. Do better.
So wouldn't it be really cool now if we don't know how long Cody's contract is?
No.
Wouldn't it be really cool if it was only just over a year and he shows up on Monday Night Raw and he does what Bret Hart did? AEW and he heads back to AEW.
That would really show exactly what
Because basically, all that's happened, right? Cody's come back. He's had 3 matches with Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. He got injured, put on the shelf for like 6 to 8 months, wherever it was.
Yeah.
Won the Rumble, had a couple of not meaningless matches on Raw and SmackDown, but they weren't for any stakes.
No.
And then has just been basically beaten into the mat by Roman Reigns and his lackeys.
With all the build-up, he should have won.
That is literally Vince just giving him the middle finger and saying, nope.
Yeah, he should have. It does feel a bit like, with all the build-up, they planned for him to win and then changed their mind to the last minute.
Yeah.
Whether that happened or not.
That is legitimately what it feels like.
It does.
They spent all this time building Cody up just to go, nope, back in your place, get to catering.
In front of his baby daughter.
Get to catering, Cody Rhodes. The downfall has started.
Let's just hope we're wrong and they have something bigger planned. Well, let's be optimistic.
Okay.
I'm not optimistic.
So yeah, that was WrestleMania Sunday, night 2. What was your favourite match from night 2?
Edge versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, I agree, I think.
It was so good. Even though they had those weird decisions, I think the high spots and the constant...
Just from start to finish, apart from the stoppage, they've got to look after their talent, that's the thing. But from start to finish, entrances, fantastic. The way the match played out, all the spots... As much as we kind of ragged a little bit on the spot of how the song, but it was still great, and I even know Edge. I'm an Edge fan. I've got an Edge T-shirt on. I like Edge, but I do feel that Finn Balor should have won it. But but I do think that IC title match was right up there, and it was very hard to choose between the two, for my mind. Worst match of night 2.
Bianca versus Asuka.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, I love Asuka, but just on the whole, it was those dips, and a lot of it is. We shouldn't be finding it worse because the crowd energy is worse, but it's part of it. The crowd feeds into the wrestlers and into the people watching at home. So having that atmosphere drop just makes it feel less.
And And again, for me with this one, it was tied between that and the women's showcase match. But the crowd were with the wrestlers in the ring for the women's match, for the showcase match.
It changes the whole energy,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And even though they weren't maybe not invested in like Natalya or Shayna or Ronda, whoever, like for them to lose interest in the title match for Raw, the flagship show for WWE, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad.
And the hair was pretty distracting, not gonna lie.
Best match of all of WrestleMania.
Edge versus Finn Balor, I think. It's close. I need to go back.
What would be your second then if it was close?
Hang on. What was my best one from last time?
I think you said
Usos
Seth and
and
Logan, wasn't it?
No, it was
Oh, it was
Usos
Usos and Kevin. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's still second.
Yeah. So you're going Edge versus Balor?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think my second would be in the pick for night one, which is the Fatal 4-Way. Worst match of the entire event.
Miz versus McAfee.
Not including that because it wasn't announced.
Fair enough. Asuka and Belair.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. With that. And it's because Austin Theory and Cena didn't live up to the hype that I was expecting. But this one just fell so flat. There was just so many missed opportunities and so many missed spots. And
Missed?
You better get out. Get out.
No.
It just fell too flat.
Yeah, it's a shame. There we go. Highs and lows.
Yeah.
Overall, happy with your WrestleMania experience?
I think so. I think the ending definitely fell really flat.
Yeah, it did.
Like, you're going 1, 2's gonna kick out, 3, what?
Yeah, it sucks all the air out, and then you're like, you don't want to be leaving WrestleMania on a down note, really.
No.
Just think of Rubber Chicken.
You know what I'm thinking of? Slayer at WrestleMania!
Yeah, not as many surprises. There were more good surprises in this one, but it was basically Shane.
Biggest surprise for the weekend for me was Shane.
Shane.
That was crazy. It's like, wait, what?
Was,
never thought I'd ever see Shane McMahon in WWE ever again.
It didn't feel very WrestleMania.
No, I get that.
You wanted like more musical acts that were actually musical acts.
I am disappointed Bobby didn't get a match.
Yeah.
Because they did tease Bobby versus Bray Wyatt. I don't know what's going on with Bray. He was in LA. I don't know why they didn't have the match. He must be still ill or dealing with injury, whatever it is. And that's a shame. You know, that sucks because they brought him back and they've been building up this whole Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy thing, and it didn't go anywhere for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest stage you can do it on.
Yeah, it's a shame. Oh well, we'll just look forward now to WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia.
In a year's time. Just over a year's time.
Still tempted. Maybe we'll be there. I don't know how we'll do videos. We'll figure something out.
I'm sure the hotels will have Wi-Fi and
we'll
just do it from the hotel.
That'll be good.
The editing might be choppy. I can't take the Mac with us.
Might be. The next pay-per-view / PLE is Backlash, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
That's before the next AEW one, is
Correct.
it? I think there's a couple in May. It's
So
going to be a busy month.
there's 3 events in May we're covering. Backlash on May 6th.
Yeah.
There's King and Queen of the Ring. I want to say is the 26th of May.
Yeah, it's near the
And
end.
then AEW's Double or Nothing is the 27th of May. It's either the 26th and 27th or 27th and 28th. I can't remember what the dates were. And I haven't got a calendar with me at hand. So
yeah,
we'll be covering all of those.
We'll have other content in the meantime. Maybe some other wrestling based stuff, or there'll be plenty of non-wrestling based stuff for video games and or board games. So do check it out. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. You can also follow us on socials on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, which you can find our link tree in the description below. That's the best way to stay up to date on what's coming up and what we're dropping, because we don't trust YouTube's notifications.
Yeah.
So check it out. Let us know in the comments, what would you sell to go to WrestleMania?
Yeah.
And until next time, maybe don't sell your heart, because you need it.